All right, Stephen McManus is joining the podcast today from sunny Charleston, South Carolina. Stephen, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, great to have you. A market that is a really dynamic market, a beautiful place to live, one of my favorite areas of the United States. So yeah, I've been really excited, looking forward to having you on the podcast. You also have some recording experience as well. Your social is pretty strong, and you record some you do some podcasting there in house, don't you?
Yeah, we started doing it just primarily to get our faces out there to learn and teach in real time. So it's been good.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's a
Yeah.
great channel for that for sure. I love to see you doing that, and uh, I think uh, I think more real estate agents should do it, but that's okay. Uh, we'll we'll uh, we'll convert some people eventually.
Yeah.
Stephen, one of my favorite parts of these conversations is when we dive into a little bit of the agent's background, and usually I've found the path to becoming a real estate agent and working in this industry is a windy path for sure. And so, would love to get a little background on you. What were you doing before your real estate career, and what drew you to real estate?
Yeah. I grew up, we're gonna go back 40 years here for a second.
Sure.
42 to be exact. I grew up in New Jersey while my father was scaling a construction company. I was born into it. And so I watched the struggle, I watched the work ethic, I watched the craftsmanship. Um, and my dad was just he was a craftsman. So I saw that from early on. And one thing he did not do very well, and I love him to death. And if he heard this, he'd be like, "Yep." One thing he didn't do very well was market. So it was built into me as I grew up to do a good job no matter what, right? That was number one, was client first, putting up cabinets. Did you paint behind the cabinets? Like we're talking like that level of stuff. When no one's looking, what's your integrity level? So that was built into me. Joined the Marine Corps, did 12 years, kind of flew through the ranks, got out at the 12-year mark when I got to Charleston. And I was like, man, this is a great place to settle. So immediately got into corporate project management, and did flips on the side. I just love real estate. I can't get away from it. I love style, design, landscape. Everybody in my family is in some sort of pocket of real estate, whether it's architecture, design, interior, exterior design. We have framing companies, deck companies. My dad's one of 10. So the whole family could build a city and maintain it. So I got to Charleston. I'm like, let's do some flips naturally. One thing that killed our ROI was the commission to our realtors. I'm like, and no hate or shade on them, but I just felt like I could turn some knobs and tweak, representation of the sale and the buy side myself enough, to be able to do a better job, frankly. So I went and got my real estate license. From there, I just loved practicing the art of buying and selling for myself and for clients. The family friend clients that I had, I just went directly into it. Built the brand Coastal Collective Group immediately without, repping my name. I immediately went to a brand that I could scale because I was thinking, 10 years, 20 years ahead. What do I want to lay the foundation as? And that was for a team because I just couldn't be like, hey, Stephen McManus, just constantly seeing and hearing my name just felt like who's going to want to brand their own name underneath my name? Let's come up with a coastal collective. And that's sort of like
Mhm.
where the name grew from, a collective of, agents who share the same core values as me, the same work ethic as me. We bring in partners and vendors that share the same core values as me and the same work ethic, and we take care of our clients. So yeah, that's really kind of the gist of it.
I have mentioned this in a few recent podcast conversations as well, that how much I would love to um, get into flipping a home or two once in a while. And it's not so much, it's not just the financial reward, but it's the, just that sort of rehabbing, renovating a home, freshening it up, that just satisfaction I get from making something old look new,
Yeah.
and I had a little taste of it with a listing that I helped get ready to sell for a family member years ago, a few years back, and did just real basic stuff, paint and floors
Yeah.
um, and fixtures and door hardware, the just everything, just, and I just enjoyed that process so much. I thought, well, I now I see the allure, why folks love this so much. And then of course, if done right, it can be extremely profitable as
Yeah.
well, which is the point. Um, so
Hmm.
that's the part that I'm not sure I'd be so successful at, because I don't know how to do a lot of the things that it takes to to renovate a home, or to to flip a property. So might eat up a lot of that profit hiring contractors to do that stuff for me. But I could see where, the realtor's commission is a, pretty good chunk of the margin. So that made sense
Yeah.
for you to get your license.
Yeah. On both ends, buying the property, selling it. If you look at the whole thing together, it's like, wow, that's a huge chunk of this
Yeah.
whole deal. So yeah, it
Yeah.
worked out really well.
What do you do in the Marine Corps primarily?
Oh man, I went in and they gave me a job. I went in, I wanted obviously infantry, and they gave me a desk. I mean, every Marine is a rifleman.
Hmm.
Um, we're all kind of built a little differently, but I went to MARSOC after that, which is special operations. I was going to get out. They sent me down to train reservists at the weapons station here in Charleston, and then got commissioned, or I got selected to commission as an officer. So they sent me to the Citadel to get my degree, train and mentor cadets while I was there. So I had an interesting career. It was a lot of just kind of, I had many different gigs. So I
Hmm.
learned to adapt pretty quickly, and I had a good
Yeah.
taste of Charleston before I got out. So I was very
Yeah,
lucky.
that's a pretty interesting career there as well. That's really cool. I love how it's probably not unusual for the Marine Corps to require adaptability,
Yeah.
right? So it's that's really cool. And so when you landed in Charleston, you thought, well, this is a great place to settle. Is that when you started considering getting out of the Marine Corps and getting into civilian life?
Yeah, I visited Charleston. The first time was when this iconic bridge, the Arthur Ravenel Bridge. When they were building that, when I first joined the Corps, I was stationed in Beaufort, which was a culture shock coming from Jersey. I'll tell you what, going and
Hmm.
living in Beaufort in 2005. And like every other Marine, I bought a motorcycle and
Sure.
drove up to Charleston with a bunch of guys. We made it there in record time, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Uh, and so got to see Upper Mount Pleasant, where I live now, was, no man's land. There was nothing here. There was, if you know the area, and I'm sure some folks who are listening from Charleston area are gonna recognize Town Center. That was vacant. They had built the framework out for it, but there was no stores in there. I think Old Navy was like the sign just went up, and the bridge had just was just being finalized. So I fell in love with it because I went to Shem Creek. So if you know Charleston, you know Mount Pleasant, you know Shem Creek, and I was like, this is a different world here. And so when I was going to get out, I was doing so well in the Marine Corps after my 4 years. They're like, we'll give you what you want. I was like, I want Charleston. And so they gave it to me. And as I was getting out, and I was getting out medically because my back was so jacked up, and Marine Corps does not hold on to you for more than 6 months if you need a surgery.
Hmm.
If you need something done from a repair perspective, they don't hold on to you for more than 6 months. So they took great care of me. No shade or hate to the Marine Corps. Love my Marine Corps. They took care of me on the way out. Um, and so I got out medically. And as I was getting out, naturally I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm from a different world. I don't even know how to communicate with civilians, is what we call them, right?
Hmm.
So I'm learning, over the course of a year to really adapt quickly. Speaking of adapting, that's the biggest thing from an adaptability standpoint is learning how to get soft skills. We want to do an amazing job, but the F bomb might come out way more than a civilian wants to hear it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or the level of directness is a form of love from a Marine, but it comes across as rude, hate, like that kind of thing to most people. So I had to learn how to get those soft skills and adapt to the civilian world. And naturally, I knew the language of construction, contractors and stuff like that. So real estate was just a natural, obvious path for me. And Charleston,
And
the
Charleston,
market,
yeah.
the market's just wild. So yeah,
How long have you been practicing full time now?
full time about 6 years.
Okay. And what would you say are the areas that you really shine, your areas of expertise, the types of clients that you serve, the types of transactions that you really excel at?
Yeah, it's good. Everybody kind of flows into their niche, right? I've still yet to fully do that. I'll be honest. I'm working like no joke. This week, a client in the 5 million range and a client in literally buying something for 150,000. Like both of those offers went out this week.
Hmm.
And I'm up late for both of them,
Sure.
working around the clock for both of them, reminding myself daily, multiple times daily, they both deserve red carpet service. I'm not just saying that because I'm on some podcast. I'm like legitimately doing that, saying that, and teaching and preaching that to my team. So people are drawn to me because I think of this. I don't know, like kind of have like this serious, get it done vibe. So I get all kinds of different price points and all kinds of different folks, man. I mean, I have repeat investment clients who come to me because they want something done and they need it done fast because they got to throw cash somewhere. The repeat investment client thing gave me tons of confidence because, I know what I know and I know what I believe is to be good from, performance wise from a real estate agent. But when people come back to you from an investment property standpoint, that just instilled a lot of confidence in me that I'm doing a good job for them. But I'd say where I mostly operate is that I hate to say lower luxury, but like, somewhere between 1 to 2 million
Hmm.
is where I primarily operate.
Well, that's a good sweet spot for sure. And yeah, I mean, look, we're even realtors who are uh, have defined their niche and have worked in that defined niche for a long time, are still going to serve someone if outside of that niche if it makes sense. And
That's right.
but yeah, I love that you brought up investor clients. I think that and the fact that they came back to you
Yeah.
for to transact additional business and repeat business and referrals from investor clients. I think I I agree. I think that that's kind of a feather in your cap is kind of reassuring because, investors are making decisions quickly. It's based on business, not emotion. And they're looking, they uh, get the sense that they would have more business savvy. They've obviously been involved in more transactions than the average homeowner. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. What is the investment environment like in Charleston these days, outside of COVID?
It's a good question and it's constantly evolving, but just a good segue into that is to pick up where you left off with repeat. A big reason why I get repeat and also why I repel some investment business is because I tell the truth. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen facial expressions change when I tell them the truth about the investment climate here. Unless you get, some sort of perfect opportunity at the right time, everything lines up, right? Um, but I tell them the truth. And what I mean by that is that most of the time in Charleston, um, in the Charleston area, you're breaking even is doing pretty good. At the end of the day, once you get that thing rented out, if you're doing STR, you're doing long term, whatever you're doing, obviously longer term, 12-month, if you're breaking even, you're doing good. If you're not, if you're breaking even with a short term rental, you're doing something really wrong. But to answer your question, there's tons of opportunities to get into the market in Charleston if you understand that. If you have the capital, or you have the opportunity to get capital, meaning, whatever, however, lenders, hard money lenders, big banks, whatever, family members, you find an investor, something, and you have a good game plan to make it happen, there's tons of opportunities. And I just had 2 meetings yesterday and one this morning talking clients through this exact thing. Now with short-term rentals, it's a very tight market. There's a certain overlay downtown that is very tough to get into, and they're the only ones that are grandfathered into STR. Then you have Isle of Palms, which Isle of Palms, the entire island, minus certain parts of Wild Dunes, which is a large gated community on Isle of Palms, you can do a short-term rental, and that's where people are really trying to get into, capture something, and make some money there. Edisto Island is another area. It's a little bit further away from Charleston. Parts of North Charleston, parts of Somerville, but the desirable areas are typically closer to the coast. And Charleston is cracking down on, because it's a hospitality town, man.
Yeah.
I get it from the idea of, like, our government leaders cracking down on it. I understand, because it really is the lifeblood of our economy.
So by that, um, you mean that being a hospitality town, the STRs are taking
Yeah,
are harming the business of your larger hotels and so forth.
it's direct competition. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now the
That
long
makes
term rentals, no, because that's more like an apartment.
right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a huge tourist town. I mean, looking right past you on my monitor is a big picture of downtown, because I'm
Mm.
obsessed with Charleston, and I'm looking, directly, like, near the Lower King, Meeting Street area, Queen Street area. Like, that area has a ton of residential, but it also, like, it thrives off of tourism, and
Yeah.
there needs to be a big piece of that needs to be lodging. So but anyway, that's a bit from an investment standpoint, limited STR opportunities. I think unlimited opportunity to do longer term rental, 6 to 12 month.
Is Charleston growing? As far as do you have a lot of folk? You see a lot of folks moving in to the area?
Yeah, I think we net, people coming in, going out, somewhere near like 20 to 30
Yeah,
a day.
yeah,
Something
yeah,
insane.
yeah, yeah,
It's wild. But yeah, I mean, when we talk about the Charleston area, we're talking about Somerville, as well, moving
mhm,
out to Ridgeville, and Hugie, Wando is blowing up, down Monk's Corner. So there's tons of opportunity for Charleston to grow and not create a jam-packed New York City vibe downtown, if you
yeah.
will.
Well, downtown Charleston, especially, is a great downtown to be obsessed with.
Yeah,
It's a unique place for sure. It's a beautiful city.
yeah.
Um, what about the insurance on for these coastal properties? Is that something that's impacted your market in similar ways as it's impacted, a lot of coastal Florida markets?
Yeah. I'd say it's very relative to those markets. And I wouldn't say Charleston was not especially worse than any other East Coast market.
Yeah,
Um, Now, just a quick note on on insurance and taxes while we're kind of hitting escrow
sure.
is the 6% increase for your secondary or investment property is, because 4% is primary, and this is all based upon South Carolina tax math, which, hit me up if you want to learn more about it. But it's a whole equation. But it goes from 4% to 6%, and it sounds like, oh, it's like a minor bump. No, it's like triple. And if you're at a coastal property, you can just imagine if you're beachfront, it's going to really eat into your ROI. So, the math that you perform leading up to an offer needs to be tight. But yeah, insurance wasn't that crazy of a difference, but we definitely saw a bump over the last few years.
You're not seeing a massive amount of homes coming on the market, folks leaving the area because of it, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, you can't get people out of Charleston, man. Yeah,
They'll sell
we
a
have the
car if they
opposite
have to.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah. I know. I have. Yeah, Charleston is funny. My wife and I spent a lot of time in Wilmington. We actually honeymooned in Charleston, and we love Charleston. Wilmington's come on our radar over the last couple of years, so we spent a lot of time out there too. And Wilmington locals say the same thing. They're like, yeah, don't move here.
yeah,
you know, like, you know, we can't keep people out of here.
I know. I
So,
lived in Wilmington too before I came to Charleston.
did you?
I lived in Porter's Neck,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
so
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah, Wilmington's beautiful, man. Wrightsville Beach, the downtown Wrightsville Beach area, downtown
Yeah.
Wilmington, gorgeous too. Lots of history as well.
Yeah. A
Love
lot
it.
of history, a lot of cool stuff happening there as well. Yeah, I just love coastal communities. My wife and I, we definitely aspire to make a coastal community somewhere our permanent home. Yet to be determined, but it'll probably be the southeast. So Charleston will
Yeah,
be in the running for sure. I'm sure. I
nice.
have no doubt. Let's talk a little bit, Stephen, before I take up your entire day. I always love to share a little bit of, maybe some insights for listeners who might be either new agents or agents that are early in their journey. And looking back on, considering what you know now,
Yeah.
um, what sort of tips or advice or insights would you share with somebody that's early in their career that you wish you had known in year one?
Man, dude, is when you were asking that question, I knew where you were going with that, and it just a million things hit me.
A million things, yeah.
There's so many.
You can name a few things if you'd
Yeah,
like. Yeah, we don't need to narrow it down.
yeah, I'll give you just a few. I'd say one, have the mentality of working for free. Now, you're not going to work for free. Have that mentality. You will serve your clients better than anyone else. The word of mouth will be your number one marketing tool. Um, Shadow. It's so boring. It's so boring to say, oh, with my free time, I'm going to go watch an experienced agent host a coffee meetup. Like it's so boring. But that's where the wins are. Shadowing experienced agents. Another one, start marketing from day one. Figure out how to start marketing yourself from day one. Um, yeah, those are the big ones, I think.
I agree. I think the shadowing, teaming up or finding a mentor or something along those lines that's something that's echoed repeatedly in these conversations. I think is really, really important. Definitely nailed that one. That work for free mentality. I will work for free. I will do the best job possible,
Hmm.
regardless of, financial outcome. I think that that's a really important mindset to wrap your head around because, as you know, um, in this industry, if you do everything right and you do everything really well, you still may not receive that first paycheck for, it could be 6, 9, 12 months. So, um,
Yep.
yeah, I think, having that mindset of just And I also love earlier when we were talking about, you put out two offers this week, 5 million and 150, and truly, um, your value system, your mindset is that both clients deserve the red carpet treatment. I'm going to work just as hard for the 150 as I am for the 5 million. And
100%, man. How
yeah,
you do anything is how you do everything.
I love that phrase. By the way, who can we credit for that phrase?
Not
I
me.
feel like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know who I'm gonna
No,
have to Google that later. I love that though. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
absolutely. Um,
It's a
and then
constant
Mark,
like self reminder, like telling yourself that every day. And
yeah,
it doesn't just like you can lock it in, you can try to lock it in and make it a part of you. But I think a big part of that is reminding yourself every day, no matter who I'm dealing with, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a stand up job. I'm going to impress them even behind the scenes with the amount of research I'm doing, the attention to detail I'm putting into all these documents, the communication with the agent on the other side of the transaction for yes, a 150 deal and a $5 million deal. Because I mean, selfishly too, really, if you think about it, that 150 guy, could they potentially be a 5 million deal one day?
sure,
Yeah. So like again, how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you keep that mentality, I don't know that you'll really eventually have to ever touch a lead gen tool system, at some point in your career ever again. And that's what every agent wants to eventually be, is a word of mouth agent.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask you if you have a morning routine. You're a Marine. That you basically invented the morning routine. You still
oh
make your bed every morning.
oh bro, immediately.
Like,
Immediately.
can't do
I
anything else until that's done, right?
I don't have some wild routine anymore.
Yeah,
I kind of cracked into my 40s and I'm like, hey, calm down.
yeah,
Like you're doing fine.
yeah,
But I'll tell you this, like to get your body to respond, your mind must move first. So that's something that, I definitely my mind controls everything. I want to roll out of bed and not do something. My mind moves my body. I don't care if it's like my leg moving first or my finger moving first. Something is moving because of my mind, and I just go make it happen. The bed is just one of those things that if you lock in something small, other things sort of just flow. If I accomplish one thing in the morning, I'm setting my day on the trajectory of mission accomplishment, success already. So I keep active. I try to stay fit. I don't ego lift in the gym anymore, but I do go to the gym. I do get some sort of fitness in 4 to 5 days a week. I try to eat as clean as possible. I make sure that I get cheat meals every now and then to stay sane. Um,
sure.
and I just spend a lot of time with people I love.
Yeah,
And what really fills me up, dude, honestly, I wake up every day knowing that I'm the tortoise, not the hare, and I'm fine there. As long as I every single day outperform expectations for my clients, deliver plus 1% every single day. And over the course of the last 6 years, I've had, steady increase in business and commission payouts simply because I don't put commission first. Made a post yesterday, something like, we don't hunt for commissions. We don't eat until our clients have approved the kill, until they get it. So if we really attack every day with that mentality, you can't help but wake up feeling good about yourself and your integrity, but also knowing it already happened. I'm already successful. It might not be like, exactly the way I want it for another year or two, but I already know it's going to happen. So it's a good mentality to attack the day with.
Are you a reader?
Yeah, I'm also an audiobooker.
Yeah, yeah. I consider that reading.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I consume a lot of audiobooks as well. The reason I ask is I wonder, have you read Atomic Habits?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I got
much
my
of what you
daughter.
were.
it's on deck for my daughter. She's 14. She'll be reading that this year.
Yeah, that's a great. Oh yeah, yeah. Highly recommend. I'll throw a link. Anyone listening to this podcast, I'm sure, has read Atomic Habits. If you're listening to a real estate podcast, but if you
Great book.
haven't, it's a must read. Yeah, and I just try to remember that. I stumble all the time, and I feel like I have to make huge changes quickly all the time. Like I'm currently in the worst. Like I'm totally out of shape. I've been out of my workout and exercise routine for a few months, and it's amazing when you hit 50 how quickly. I used to be able to rebound really, really quick. Like a couple weeks, and I'm back to running 25, 30 miles a week. But now it's a whole different ball game, and I keep trying to remind myself, like going back to Atomic Habits. You know what? Just lace up your shoes and walk for 10 minutes like at the same time every morning, and let that turn into 20 minutes, let that turn into an hour, let that turn into a run. And
Right.
but anyway, yeah, I love
Right.
you mentioned, you were talking about 1% better, do everything excellent plus 1%, and
That's right.
that's what rang a bell for me.
And little wins every day, like you said. You don't have to accomplish the world.
Yeah,
Like your productivity is not going to increase. Uh, like it's not going to double overnight.
yeah, yeah,
It's not going to maybe even go up 1% overnight. But if you lean in with everything you got, you might be a 0.5% better tomorrow. But if that compounds over the next couple of years, guess what? Financial freedom, for some of these new agents. So
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's really important too. I love that you use the word compound, because so much of what we do in our business early on, it's a long game. It's a long road, for sure. Success doesn't come quickly in this or any other high ticket, high trust
yeah,
type industry. Um, and I remind myself when it comes to marketing initiatives, and it doesn't matter how you market your business. There's 1,000 ways you can do it, and pretty much all of them work.
pick
It's
one.
just picking one, right?
Yeah,
And sticking to it and being
that's right.
consistent, right? So,
That's
and
exactly right. Yeah.
all those little things that you do compound over time and eventually result in uh, growing your business. Stephen, this has been awesome connecting with you. I really appreciate you taking my DM a couple months ago and jumping on
Yeah.
a call with me to talk about this podcast and scheduling this. I feel like we could talk for definitely another hour, so I'd love to have you back on to chat some more.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to add or share with listeners?
Hmm. No, I mean, obviously, hit me up if you're looking to buy or sell in Charleston,
Yeah,
South
yeah, for
Carolina
sure.
area.
Yeah.
Um, I will do just a quick plug is if that's okay, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We my team is primarily actually all of us right now have a history in construction, project management. We've all been in corporate or the military or both. Um, and we run our everyday by a strict set of core values that when they log in, kind of force it on them when they log into our tech stack every day. It's right in front of their face. And we're just we take the fiduciary responsibility very, very seriously. So I encourage you guys, if you're out there and you haven't decided on an agent yet, or you want a second opinion. I've worked with folks who have another agent, but they just hit us up on the side for a couple years, and then they finally are like, okay, it takes me a long time to build trust. I definitely trust these guys now, and we convert clients that way because they watch us, they learn with us. Um, there's tons of great agents in Charleston as well, but I'd encourage you to reach out. But Jeff, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on here. This is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen, how can folks learn more about you and connect with you and the team?
Yeah, we are thecoastalcollective.com on the web. We're coastalcollective.chs on Instagram. Um, and you could find all sorts of other ways to connect with us if you visit those two.
Perfect. I'll have the links, of course, in the description for this episode. I'll tag you guys on Instagram when I publish the episode too. And yeah, Stephen, definitely let's follow up. I look forward to staying in touch and really appreciate you joining the podcast. Thanks again.
Thanks so much, Jeff.